presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Sundays at Cabrera Park are reserved for the youngest Tigers fans. It's our first Kids Sunday of the season. It's a sight we'll see all year long. Even our Tigers kids will take part. Young Victor Martinez taking batting and fielding practice before the game today. Thumbs up. It's Kids Opening Day here at the ballpark on a gorgeous afternoon in the Motor City. Glad to have you with us here today as it's the Detroit Tigers and Kansas City Royals in Game 3 in this series. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, glad to have you with us on a gorgeous day here at the ballpark this afternoon. Rod Allen will join us momentarily. The Tigers trying to get another good pitching performance today. They've gotten two already. Max Scherzer on opening day, Phil Koch yesterday, and they will now hand the baton to Rick Porcello this afternoon. And Porcello will take on a Kansas City team that has been really good offensively. Porcello with a very good record against the Royals in his career at 3-1. This will be his 8th start against KC and an ERA of 4.57. So Porcello and the Tigers hoping to win a series here this afternoon. Texas coming to town after KC leaves. Game 3 coming up. In the meantime, we go back to the Call Sam studios now, and here's Mickey York. Back here at Comerica Park, where Rick Porcello and the Detroit Tigers prepare to take on the Kansas City Royals. Final game in this 3-game series. The rubber game of the match as well. Tigers won game 1. The Royals answer with a win yesterday. And by the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. You can check out the box score at foxsportsdetroit.com. Here is the starting lineup for the visiting Kansas City Royals. It is presented today by the Detroit Chevy dealers, and it features Chris Getz at the top. He's playing second base. Melky Cabrera in center field. Alex Gordon is in left, followed by Billy Butler. Kila Kaiahue is the DH. Jeff Francoeur in right, and your bottom 3 features Betamit Trainer and Alcides Escobar. Here's the scouting report on Rick Porcello, presented today by Ace Hardware.
Well, when Rick takes the hill, it's all about the sinker ball. As a matter of fact, since coming to the big leagues, he's averaged about 2 ground balls for every fly ball, so that's very good for Porcello. He has a much improved changeup and also a curve and a slider, which he worked on in spring training, and he's also starting to mature a little bit. I like what Rick had to say after his last outing when he gave up a 5 spot. He said, you know what, I really wasn't that bad. I just made a couple of bad pitches in that outing. So he took some good out of his first start in Baltimore.
All right, here we go. Chris Getz digs into the batter's box, and the first pitch of the ball game to Getz will be followed by Cabrera and Gordon. It is 64 degrees here at game time. We have progressively gotten better in this homestand. There's a strike called on Getz. It was 43 on opening day, 46 yesterday, and 64 and climbing today. Now the 1-1 pitch coming home, and he misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Getz. There's the weather, 93% humidity. And they are forecasting a high of 76 today.
We'll take it.
Absolutely. Getz slicing one towards center field. Jackson can't get it. He's able to knock it down, and Getz is aboard.
Jackson plays very, very shallow in center field for plays like these when the little table setters try to hit singles in front of him. And the thing that I like about Jackson in center, he's fearless, and he also does a nice job of keeping that ball in front of him, which keeps Getz at first base momentarily.
Now for the time being, let's see if he stays there. Melky Cabrera stands in. And he takes way high, 1-0. Inge was charging at third base. Getz with good speed down at first. This is really one of the few days, aside from opening day in Baltimore, in which the Tigers have played in some really nice weather.
No question about that.
It's fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. You might recall that Cabrera bounced into a double play in the first inning in the first game of the series. He did it again last night. Maybe he'll do it today.
Well, Porcello has that real good 2-seam fastball, and if he could run one down and away from Cabrera, he might get him to roll over on one.
Instead, it's driven in the air toward right field, where Bosch is waiting, and Getz retreats.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. It's always brought to you by Beaumont Hospitals, and we understand the fine folks at Beaumont Hospitals like to watch Tigers baseball. You know, Bosch is in right, Jackson's in center, Rayburn's in left. The infield reads Inge, Peralta, Rines, Cabrera, Avila back behind the plate today after a day off yesterday when Martinez caught Phil Koch.
Mr. Avila has really come on both offensively and defensively. Here's Alex Gordon. He's had 3 hits in this series and batting a lofty .378. Lifted back out of play, 0-1 on Gordon.
I know it's early, but Gordon looks like a totally different hitter. Looks like he's in a really good frame of mind this year, and apparently Ned Yost, his manager, believes so as well, because he's batting third. He said last year taught him a little something. He was humbled by being sent down to the minor leagues for the majority of the season. He learned how to play left field, and he's come back much more comfortable.
Ooh, and a bad throw by Porcello. That'll go all the way to the corner in right field, and Getz easily will get to third base.
It's unfortunate, but that's what speed will do. It will cause you to do some things that you don't normally do on the mound, and that's not Porcello's normal throw over to first base. Looked like Rick kind of rushed his throw over to first base, and Cabrera had no chance at picking it out of the dirt.
So an early scoring opportunity now and a juicy RBI chance here for Alex Gordon.
Well, Jim's not going to give it to him. When Porcello's right, and we told you in his pitching profile, he gets lots of ground balls. The infield's in, hoping they can get a ground ball, which would keep Getz at third base. And one more look at Porcello. Kind of hoping that ball would have hit Getz. If you're Porcello, went right underneath his chest.
0-2 on Gordon. And he takes strike 3. Porcello comes back with a big strikeout. Second out of the inning.
Good pitch. And so many times the hitter's looking for the opposing pitcher to waste a pitch with 2 strikes, and Porcello came back with a firm fastball at 91 miles an hour right down the heart of the plate.
So now with the infield back and 2 outs, here comes Billy Butler,
the most dangerous hitter on their team.
Butler DH'd the first 2 games in the series. He's playing first today, and he grounds one to third base. Inge has it there, and Porcello pitches out of the jam. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first. Ryan Rayburn was responsible for the Tigers' only run of the ball game yesterday. Their starting lineup today presented by Big Boy. Jackson, Rhymes, Bosch, your top 3. Cabrera cleaning up. Victor Martinez, the DH again today. Ryan Rayburn is in left, and then Peralta, Avila, and Inge rounded out. The Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Luke Hochevar. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
Well, with Zach Greinke being traded to the Milwaukee Brewers, Luke Hochevar got the opening day nod for the Kansas City Royals, and he really likes his fastball. As a matter of fact, first couple of starts he's been ambushed early because he likes his fastball so much. And, well, he's no different than most pitchers in the major leagues. He's no match for Cabrera.
And a few are, I guess. Jackson looks at a ball outside. Jackson, Rhymes, and Bosch. 1 for 9 in the series for Austin, trying to get it going offensively with a slow start with the stick this year. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jackson 4 out of 10 against Hochevar, so maybe that'll be the tonic for Austin today. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Lifted back out of play. 2-2 on Jackson.
Looks like Jackson has drawn a little line in the batter's box right across there to see
Ooh, way inside. A little chin music there. 3-2.
A little reminder for him to where his foot comes down.
Now the 3-2 pitch. An excuse me swing, and it's fouled back.
Talked about Jackson and his slow start, the fact that he's had trouble with his timing. So by him drawing that line in the batter's box, just a little indicator for him as to where to pick his foot up and put it back down.
In the air to center. Melky Cabrera for the out. One gone.
Let's take a look at the Kansas City Royals lineup defensively. It's brought to you by Tim Hortons. Gordon, Cabrera, Francoeur in the outfield. You've got Billy Butler over at first base today. The other infielders have started all three of these games, and it's Matt Trainer back behind the plate. He caught the opener of this series.
I had Tim Hortons on the way to the ballpark today.
How was it?
It was awesome.
What'd you get? Coffee, donuts, breakfast? What'd you get?
A little bit of everything you just mentioned.
All the above, huh?
Here's Will Rhymes. There's a strike on Will. 3 for 7 in the series for Rhymes. He's batting an even 200. Hochevar's 0-1. Toward left field, but slicing back out of play.
I was watching some video on Luke in the Tigers clubhouse this morning, and first couple of starts, majority of his pitches fastballs. He cuts the fastball in on the left-handers. He tries to sink it away from the right-handers. He'll elevate the fastball, the velocity anywhere from 89 to 92. Threw very few breaking balls early in the game in his first 2 starts, and judging by the numbers, we might see him pitch a little bit more early here. More breaking balls, more changeups early in this game.
Well, Hochevar was a #1 pick out of Tennessee. He stands 6 feet 5 inches tall. And he missed inside, running the count to 1-2. 6'5", 220 out of Denver, Colorado. Hochevar, he's 27 years of age. Here's the 2-2 offering. Sliced and caught on a leap by the shortstop. Escobar with a nice play. 2 gone to the Tigers first.
He's a good athlete. He's got that wiry body, like Alexi Ramirez of the Chicago White Sox. Tall, slender frame.
Escobar has really put on a show defensively here in his first season with the Royals as Bosch digs in at 364. He has faced Hochevar twice in his career, 1 for 2 against him. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Skied in the air to left. Alex Gordon waiting for it. And the Tigers go 1-2-3 in the first inning. On our way to the second on a gorgeous day in the Motor City. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. By Chrysler. And by Arby's Junior Buffalo Chicken Sandwich, new to Arby's Value Menu. Hurry, available for a limited time only. Well, certainly the best of the 3 days we've had so far here weather-wise, as the Tigers and Royals get together here at Comerica Park, wrapping up this 3-game series. Each team with a win so far. Hila Ka'aiahue will lead things off, followed by Jeff Francoeur and then Wilson Betemit. Rick Porcello back to the hill, gave up a single. No damage done in the first. And he throws strike one to Ka'aiahue.
And Ka'aiahue off to a very slow start this year after having a monster spring training. But Ned Yost, his skipper, has not given up on him. Not in the first week of the season.
It's tapped slowly and foul down the first base line.
He knows he can hit, and the Kansas City Royals as an organization also believe that Keela can hit.
I guess that's one of the questions that all managers have to go through every season when some of their players get off to a slow start. How long of a rope do you give them, I suppose?
Well, it appears that he should have a pretty long leash, although Kansas City is sitting, up at the top of the division along with the Cleveland Indians. I don't know if they expect to win the division, but they may as well groom him, let him learn.
To shallow right field, Bosch will make the running play. First out of the inning. Bosch in place of Maglio today. Ordonez's ankle acting up a little bit, so he will get the day off. He may be able to pinch hit if needed.
Well, it's nice that Bosch has gotten off to a nice start. You also have Rayburn, who plays very well defensively and had a very good year offensively. You can sort of take your time with Maglio to make sure he gets himself healthy. They're going to need him before it's all said and done.
Here's Francoeur. He looks at a strike. The former Atlanta Brave Jeff Francoeur now in the American League with the Royals. 1 for 7 in the series. That's a fair ball deep behind the bag. Ainge, flat-footed throw, nails him at first base. 2 outs.
Porcello appears to have the real good sinker ball today. Take a look at the late life on this pitch. When he works south of the knees, he gets lots of ground balls, and Ainge can cover a lot of ground. I told you in the pitching profile of Porcello, he has gotten about 2 ground balls for every fly ball pretty much since coming to the big leagues, which is about 5th in the American League.
That has been his MO. Here's Betemit. Porcello, for the most part, has pitched well in this ballpark. He has 15 career wins, 15-8 at Comerica Park. Bouncing ball back up the middle into center field.
In case you're wondering how Porcello grips his two-seam fastball, here's a real good look at it. And take a look at the hands. That pitch about 89 miles an hour. You can see he's got 2 fingers on the baseball, the index finger and the middle finger. And when he lets it go, he kind of turns it over, and that gives him the natural sink in the strike zone.
Leland was saying before the game today, the ones that dart down, those are the ones that hitters will beat into the ground. The ones that don't dart quite as much, these are the ones that tend to end up in the air and sometimes over the wall.
Yes, no question about that.
And Brian Roberts hit a big one against him in Baltimore in his last start.
Although that pitch wasn't that bad.
No, it was pretty good.
Roberts, just a smart hitter, was looking at the bottom of the strike zone for that sinker.
Here's Matt Trainer, and another throw back to first base. Betemit, 1 stolen base so far this year. Royals like to run. They have run a lot, and that is part of their MO this year. Not a whole lot of power to speak up and down their lineup. Not a station-to-station team. Well, still lead the majors with 14 steals.
Well, they hit 274 as a team last year, but they finished 20th in runs scored in the majors. So they didn't have any trouble getting people on, but they had trouble getting some of those base runners to touch home plate. That's why they're such an aggressive base running team this year.
Trainer takes low, 2-0. Trainer is a former Tiger, albeit very briefly. Back in 2009, he played in just a handful of games and then injured his shoulder, had labrum surgery. Pulled foul. 2-1 on Matt Trainer. Early part of his career with the Florida Marlins. He was actually drafted by the Royals originally and has kind of come full circle now. It was back in 1994 when he was drafted. Benameat stretching his lead. Three and one. Royals at 5-3 in the Central. The Tigers at 3-5. And after the Royals leave town, Texas will come to town, and they're swinging the bats.
They can hit. No question about that. And they're pitching this year, too.
3-2 on Matt Trainer.
Many thought that the Texas Rangers, because they weren't able to land the huge prize Cliff Lee, which they desperately wanted to re-sign him as a free agent. They thought that they would not be all that good in the American League West, but they're still pretty good.
3-2 pitch. Runner going, and there is ball four. So with 2 on now, or 2 out rather, 2 on.
Hey fans, Friday, April 22nd, the Tigers face the Chicago White Sox at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans receive an Austin Jackson figurine. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or log on to tigers.com. That figurine of Jackson's famous catch in the near perfect game by Armando Galarraga last year.
Action Jackson. That's the best way to describe him out there in center. There's a strike called on Alcides Escobar. He's batting with 2 outs here. The Royals have had a couple of pretty good scoring opportunities early in this game. Escobar was hitless yesterday, 0 for 4. Two-out single by Benameat and a walk to the number 8 hitter Trainer. Swing and a miss, and a really big swing for Escobar.
There's that two-seam fastball grip. He's got a good one today. He's got a good two-seamer today.
And he's ahead of Escobar 0-2. On a soft line of the shortstop, Peralta ends the inning, and that's all for the Royals. No runs, a hit, a walk, 2 men left. Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Quarter Pounder with cheese. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338. Or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. See final results postgame during Tigers Live. Tigers in search of their first hit as Miguel Cabrera stands in. A 1-2-3 inning for Luke Hochevar in the first. And he sails the first pitch outside 1-0.
You saw those numbers, Cabrera against Luke. 529.
Stays away again with a breaking ball. 2-0 the count. Cabrera, Martinez, Rayburn. Hochevar at 6'5" was quite a basketball player in high school as well. In the Denver area was a player of the year in basketball. He had some gaudy numbers on the hardwood. Average over 20, blocked about 8 a game, pulled down 11 boards. Bouncing ball to short, hit slowly, cutting it off at third. Bettamy. One away. 4 up, 4 down against Hochevar.
Bettamy has gotten quite a few of these do-or-die type plays the last couple of days. A couple of swinging bunts. In yesterday's game, he fielded one. The other one, he didn't field so cleanly.
Now Victor Martinez, who caught yesterday's ball game, and Jim Leland was raving about the way that he guided Phil Koch through his first start this year. He rifles the first pitch foul down the right field line.
And Tigers hitters will be aggressive early in counts today against Hochevar. They really know that he likes his fastball and tries to establish it early in counts.
It was a great scene in the locker room before the game today. Victor's son, Victor Jr., little Victor, was sitting on the couch watching some video with Robbie Weinhardt and some old video, and little Victor looks at Robbie and said, "That's my dad. He hits a lot of home runs."
He's not proud of Dad, is he?
No, just a little bit.
Little Victor is going to hit quite a few home runs himself because he loves coming to the ballpark with Dad.
He sure does, and Victor, of course, does a great job in spending time with his son at the ballpark, pitching and batting practice. He's a little guy yet, but he can swing it. It's drilled foul down the right field line.
Well, here's a little bit of little Victor in New York, and then he traveled back to the Motor City for opening day. He's a switch hitter.
Yes, he is.
Started switch hitting at the tender age of 5. Victor told me he didn't start switch hitting until he was 8 years old.
Now the 1-2. Martinez hanging in there. Well, it's our first Kids Sunday here at the ballpark today, so every Sunday will be a special day for the kids, and a lot of the youngsters are at the ball yard today enjoying great weather and Tigers baseball. And some good food, too. Now the 1-2. Fouled away again, so Martinez continues to battle. When you were a kid, you used to hang out at Dodger Stadium, didn't you?
I sure did. Enjoyed it. A lot of fond memories of going to Dodger Stadium. Sitting way up top. Eating those Dodger dogs. Chocolate malts.
You did it up, didn't you?
Did it up, man. Ice cream in a little helmet.
Oh, that was the best. That's in the air. Hit pretty well to the left. It'll stay in the ballpark, though. Gordon is under it. 2 outs. Well, April in the D, and its lineup continues tomorrow. Tigers-Pistons doubleheader. The Tigers welcome the Texas Rangers in the afternoon, while the Pistons close out their home schedule by taking on Cleveland. For a complete April in the D telecast schedule, visit foxsportsdetroit.com. And tomorrow for the Tigers, it'll be Justin Verlander against the hot-hitting Rangers. That'll be a good matchup.
No doubt about that. If Verlander's on top of his game as he was against the Baltimore Orioles 5 days ago, the Texas Rangers will be no match for Verlander, as good as they are.
Rayburn fouls it away, 0-2. Well, for Ryan, a home run in the ball game last night. It was his first of the year. And it provided the Tigers with their only run. Bruce Chen was outstanding. The bullpen pretty much did the rest. The Rayburn homer came off of Joaquim Soria, their closer. On deck, Johnny Peralta. Tigers still looking for their first hit. 5 up, 5 down against Hochevar. 2-2. Each team had 5 hits in yesterday's game, so as good as Chen was, Koch was equally impressive. Rolled foul. I know Jim Leland was saying that he was really encouraged by what he saw out of Phil Koch, because now if Koch can give you an outing like that on most nights, he still feels Brad Penny will be a huge asset to this team. You got Verlander and Scherzer at the top. He likes the way his rotation is starting to form a little bit and take shape.
Koch threw quite a few breaking balls yesterday. He had a good one too.
That's low, 3-2. Koch's a little bit frustrated in that second inning, but after Leland came out and pretty much told him, look, you're probably going to give up one more run. Just keep it at 2. We'll do the rest. And he really picked up the pace and did well. Rayburn goes down on strikes, and the Tigers go in order again. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit today, presented by Bell Tire. B-Dab and the April in the D song contest winner. April in the D in full swing here. The Tigers taking on the Kansas City Royals today. And it's a scoreless ball game as we go to the top of the third. I feel like a disc jockey here. Tune in the background.
Nice tune.
Chris Getz will lead it off on a glorious day here at the ballpark. Royals have a couple of hits in this game. They've also picked up a walk, but Porcello has pitched out of trouble in the first 2 frames. Getz, then Cabrera, and then Gordon. It's a ball down low to Getz, who singled to start the game, eventually got to third on a bad pickoff throw, but they stranded him there. The 1-0 is inside.
Well, if Getz bunts, he will bunt toward first base or second base, because if he bunts down toward third, as shallow as Inge is playing, he's not going to get a base hit in that direction, and the athleticism of Brandon Inge at that position.
Well, he's ahead now. 3 balls and no strikes. And a 4-pitch walk to lead things off here in the third. Time for a game break. We go back to the studio, and here's Mickey York. All right, Mickey, thank you. The Mets, of course, under a new manager this year, Terry Collins. They came in at 4-4 over in the rugged National League East. Melky Cabrera, the batter for KC. He lined out back in the first. Melky spent 5 years with the New York Yankees. That's where he broke in. One ball and one strike. When you play center field for the Yankees, you better have some skills, because they have held some guys in high regard that have come through that organization in center field. There's a bluff to first base. As Bernie Williams most recently did it for so many years and played at such a high level. Royals signed him as a free agent last December. Chopped to third and right by in. She was pulled in a step or two, and it gets by him. Getz will go to third base. Cabrera trying for two, and the throw is high. He overshoots the second baseman, and this will score a run. And Cabrera goes all the way to third base. The aggressiveness of Cabrera may have caught Rayburn by surprise a bit.
Well, what Rayburn should have done once he got over to this ball, because of the speed of Cabrera, Cabrera was going to be safe at second base, and Rayburn probably should have held on to it, and they would still have a couple of runners in scoring position, but they wouldn't have the one run, the one gift run.
They rule that a double, no RBI, E7, and the Royals with a 1-0 lead. Strike one on Alex Gordon. Royals now have 3 hits. Gordon struck out with a man at third back in the first inning. He's in that same spot here in this at bat. Gordon's path to the big leagues has been a bumpy one. Of course, he's had to deal with a couple of injuries as well. A thumb problem, a hip problem, and all the hype that surrounded Gordon coming out of college. Coming out of Nebraska, he was tabbed as the best college baseball prospect coming out. So they expected a lot of things very quickly from Gordon.
Well, his first year in pro ball, he tore up Double-A, and he was in the big leagues the next year.
Roll to the right side. This will get a run in. Gordon gets an RBI, and the Royals have a 2-0 lead. Base is empty now with 1 out. Tigers in this game have committed 2 errors, one by Porcello and one by Rayburn, both of the throwing variety. Here's Butler. Up with the right hand goes Tim Welke. Here's the 0-1 pitch. We're talking a little bit about this last night. Everybody seems to be on Billy Butler about developing that power and hitting more home runs, and he's heard it a lot in the early part of his career. But I guess, and he's been quoted as saying, my approach is to try and just go up there and have the same solid approach every single time. I mean, that's my aim, is to get on base, drive the ball. If home runs happen, they happen.
Can't argue with the success that he's had. Still very, very young. But tremendous hand-eye coordination. He has a little bit of a toe tap that kind of gets him started when he's in the batter's box. And then on the second tap, he kind of picks it up and lunges toward the pitcher, which gives him really good balance. And when you get to a good balance position, as he does on most days, you can have some really good bat speed.
Driven in the air to right field, hit pretty well. Bosch going back to the track, to the wall. It's off the wall. Butler hustling to second base, and he'll pull in with a double. He may not hit the ball out of the park as much as some want, but he can hit some doubles.
Well, we just talked about how good he is, and that's a 22-game hitting streak he now has against Tigers pitching. And this is our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. He takes the first pitch fastball right down the middle. He has enough confidence to hit behind in the count. And then he waits for something up in the strike zone. He finally gets it with 2 strikes. We talked about the toe tap before that. And he drills that two-seamer the opposite way. And that's the approach you got to have on a two-seam fastball. You don't want to pull it because usually you roll over and you hit lots of ground balls to the left side of the infield. He can hit.
That's the 4th hit of the day for the Royals. Kaihue is 0 for 1. He flied out back in the second. Trying to pick up Butler here. Kilo struggled in last night's game against Phil Koch. Koch struck him out 3 straight times.
Koch had a breaking ball working yesterday that made several Kansas City Royals hitters not look very good. I mean, there were some awkward swings yesterday on that breaking ball.
1-2. Well, there's Koch on the left, Penny on the right, exchanging ideas, and they, of course, will be major participants in the rotation this year. Leland spoke highly of both of them before the game today. There's a strike called, and Kaihue is out of there looking. A couple of strikeouts now for Porcello.
Pretty good fastball there on the inner third that Kaihue thought was probably inside, but Fox Tracks is telling it's caught the inner edges of the plate.
There's Frank Coor. Bounced out back in the second. Frank Coor homered on opening day, his only home run so far. 1 for 7 in the series, and actually 1 for 8 with his 0 for 1 this afternoon. They've handled him pretty well. Butler has doubled in this inning. He's still standing at second base now with 2 outs. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Rhymes on a dive to his feet. What a play by Will. Saving another run. Royals get a pair, though. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 2-0. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by AT&T and by your neighborhood Spartan stores. For locations, check out turntospartan.com. Sunny day, beautiful day here at the ballpark. Temperature rising now, 68 degrees here at the yard.
Well, Tigers got to get the bats going. They were shut down in yesterday's game by and large by Bruce Chin and the bullpen of the Kansas City Royals. And they've started out a little bit cold here today.
Yeah, 6 up, 6 down against Luke Hochevar. Peralta's had a good series, 3 for 7, couple of RBIs.
Hochevar pitching a little differently today than his first couple of starts of the year. Came out trying to establish his fastball his first couple of starts and gave up quite a few runs early in those starts. But today's game plan was to come out and mix in more breaking balls early. He's done that and been very good.
High towering fly ball deep in the left. This one has a chance and gone. It cleared the bullpen in left field, and there's the offense you wanted. First Tigers hit, first Tigers run of the game.
Johnny Peralta is a smart hitter. First couple of pitches, breaking balls, he kind of had in the back of his mind he was going to get another breaking ball. This appeared to be a curveball that was hanging right over the heart of the dish. And that's when you can do some damage to the pull field, when you get a hanging breaking ball. That ball is right down the middle. Great concentration by Peralta. Real good, short, compact swing, and he plays long ball.
So the rocky spring that Peralta had with the bat seems like a distant memory. He's come out swinging it really well here in the regular season. 375 the distance on that home run. Alex Avila, the batter. Avila is at 286. He's had really good success against Hochevar. 4 for 9.
Even though Peralta is off to that real good start, I think Jim just kind of likes him down in that number 7 spot, just kind of hidden down there behind the big boys, because Jim knows he's a proven RBI guy that can drive in some runs when there's traffic on the base paths.
It seems to give your lineup a little bit of depth. And you've got Peralta down there with the pop that he has. And Johnny has just hit his second career homer against Hochevar.
Hochevar will feature a changeup to the left-handed batters, not so much to the right-handed hitters. He'll use his curveball and slider as the secondary pitches to the right-handed hitters.
The 0-2. Hochevar pitched 3 years at Tennessee and finished second all-time in strikeouts in their program history. The first ever #1 overall pick to come out of that university's baseball program. 2-2 on Avila. In fact, Hochevar's brother followed him to Tennessee and has since transferred to a junior college. Well, not a junior college, but a Division II college in Tennessee. Brother Dylan. And the 2-2. Breaking ball, and Avila goes down swinging.
Hey fans, you can see the Tigers play the American League champion Texas Rangers for half price tomorrow through Wednesday, each day at 1:05 here at Comerica Park, of course. Upper box seats are only $12 and lower baseline box seats are just $14. Available exclusively at Tigers.com.
Yeah, and it's going to be a whale of a matchup. We talk about it tomorrow. Verlander, one of the best in the American League, against a very good offensive team, the Rangers.
Must see TV.
Right at the right fielder, Frank Coor, and Inge is out. Verlander's got the shades on now. Those are sweet. 17 strikeouts in 14 innings.
JV's got some style now.
Oh, no question.
He's a sharp dresser, too.
Ball missing inside. Remember a couple of years ago they had 70s night in Cleveland. JV was wearing those wild shades, and I asked him about it the next day. He goes, "Dude, this is the latest style, man. It wasn't like I was wearing 70s shades." It's not my bad. I thought you were flashing back to the 70s.
He brought you up to date a little bit, huh?
Yeah, he put me in my place. One and one on Austin Jackson. Well, the Tigers need to get his bat going here because certainly the offense has a different dimension when Jackson is getting on to start games and start innings.
Still real early. And if you're Jackson, you just don't panic. You just continue to work. Continue to get all your busy work in. Have good approaches. The hits will come. He's in a really good hitter's count right now. Should get a fastball. And if it's over the heart of the plate, this is where you got to get that foot down. Get to a nice balanced position and get some bat speed coming through the strike zone. Cutter there with some late life. 88 miles an hour. I think just about every pitcher in baseball throws a cutter these days.
Some of them are hard to distinguish between being a cutter or a slider. 3-2 pitch. Shattered his bat. Picks it up at second, and the side retired. Tigers get on the board, though, and they do so on Johnny Peralta's first home run of the season. Can you name the three players on today's rosters, both the Royals and the Tigers, who were selected in the first round of the 2006 Major League Draft? There are three of them between the two teams. First rounders in the 06 draft. See if you can name them. Answer coming up in a little bit. Wilson Betemit leads it off here in the fourth inning. Tigers are down by a run, 2-1. Betemit had a single back in the second. Porcello sails one outside. 2-0 on Betemit. He had a rip on 2-0 and sent it back into the seats. Betemit continues to get playing time at third base with the struggles of Mike Avila. Porcello missing inside. 3-1. Pulled down to first and a bad hop. Cabrera was about to get in front of it, and it jumped up right over his bare hand.
And if you're Jim Leland, you're elated at the fact that that ball did not make contact with Cabrera's hand. Cabrera's instincts caused him to reach up and try to pick that ball with his bare hand, but that wouldn't have been pretty.
Leadoff man is on, and Bettamy now 2 for 2. Royals have their 5th hit today. And we'll see if Porcello now can get the ground ball. Trainer takes strike 1.
Rick has a really good sinker ball today and has thrown some good pitches on the ground. Unfortunately for him, some of those ground balls have squeaked through the Tigers infield, and that's why they trail 2-1 in this game.
And even Frank Coor's ground ball that ended the 3rd on a nice play by Rhymes looked like it might be headed to center. One ball, one strike on Matt Trainer. Eddie Rodriguez in the coaching box at third base. Royals got 2 runs in the 3rd. They have led off the 4th inning with a leadoff single. Had a couple of doubles in that 3rd inning. Runner goes. Here comes Avila's throw. It's going to be tardy. Stolen base for Bettamy to second.
The Royals lead the American League in stolen bases and are a very aggressive base running team, even with the guys that don't have true base stealer speed, and Bettamy would fall into that category, but the ball was inside. Avila had to grab it and then sort of tuck his left shoulder to try to get a good throw off to second base, and really couldn't get anything on the throw.
Now the count goes to 3-1 on Trainer.
Well, Trainer will be trying his best with nobody out and a runner on second base to hit something to Will Rhymes or hit something to Cabrera on the right side of the infield, to at least get Bettamy, the base runner, on second to third. That's the kind of baseball the Royals have been playing this year.
3-1 pitch. Bounced back up the middle. Peralta off his glove. Stays with it though, and not in time. Trainer beat it out. Spinning play by Johnny up the middle.
Good at bat by Trainer. He does his job and he gets rewarded with a single. Cabrera, if he feels this cleanly and doesn't juggle it momentarily with the glove, he gets the out at first base. I've been impressed with Johnny when doing this little pirouette here. Is still able to throw the ball very accurately to first base. We've seen that kind of play here by him a couple of times this year.
Well, Peralta is happier back at his shortstop position. They had him at third base toward the end of his Indians career. But some trouble now for Porcello with nobody out.
Johnny said he got in real good shape in the offseason, knowing that he was going to get a chance to play the position that he grew up playing in the Cleveland Indians organization, shortstop. He said he worked with a personal trainer. He worked on agility. He worked on his quickness. He's gotten a little better.
Chop slowly toward third. Inge will let it roll. It's hugging the line, but it goes foul.
I wonder if Inge picks that ball up barehanded if they don't get the out at home plate, because Bettamy was coming on contact, but Brandon knows more than I do. He's a really good defender, but it appeared had he wanted to pick that ball up, he could have gotten that out at home plate.
Boy, would that have been an inning changer.
Let's take one more look at it and see if that will give us an idea. Bettamy is right there. He picks it up. It would have been a gamble, but I think he probably would have been risking maybe throwing that ball into the runner too, because the momentum was carrying him in that direction.
That's in front of the plate. Avila guns down to second, and they'll get the out there, and holding at third is Benavides.
That's a nice heads-up play by Avila. Quite a few catchers in the majors would have simply taken the sure out at first base. But he gets out in front of it, know that Trainer was running, and got the force out at second, which keeps the double play in order momentarily. But Escobar on first base has the ability to steal a base, and we've told you that Ned Yost, their manager, is allowing a lot of these guys to run.
Speed at first, speed at the plate as well. Chris Getz, single walk and a run scored. He has been on base a lot in this series. He's walked 3 times.
Well, in the back of your mind, if you're Jim, now that the count has gone 1 ball and no strikes, the way that Getz can handle the bat, and as aggressive as Kansas City has been this year, the squeeze comes into play.
Lifted in the air to center. Jackson is on the run. Benavides will tag and score with ease. It's a sacrifice fly for Chris Getz, who continues to have a dynamite series for Kansas City. So the Royals get a run to make it 3-1. It's a second out. .65 total pitches so far for Porcello. There's Cabrera with 2 away. Quick throw and the runner back.
No doubt Jim and his coaching staff will be watching the youngster Escobar very closely over at first base. A lot of times young base runners, they will tip when they're going to try to steal a base. They'll do something differently when they're getting ready to run.
That's back up the middle into center. Sharply hit by Cabrera. And the hits are piling up now for Kansas City. They're 7th of the game.
That's a 2-seam fastball that doesn't have a whole lot of late life to it. That one stayed up right over the heart of the plate. And Cabrera, he spanked it.
Rick Knapp is out of the Detroit dugout. Porcello was able to dodge some trouble in the first 2 innings as the Royals stranded 3, but they got him in the 3rd for a couple of runs. 1 more here in the 4th. And they've out hit the Tigers today 7-1. Now you've got to deal with the number 3 hitter, Alex Gordon.
Gordon likes that first pitch. So if you throw a fastball, be careful with it.
Good block by Avila. Gordon right now is tied for the major league lead in hits with 14 with Howie Kendrick.
Howie Kendrick off to a good start. Of the Angels, he can hit when he stays healthy.
Pulled and caught at second base by Will Rhymes. So Rhymes saves another run. It's the 2nd time he's done that here today. Royals get 1 more. Back here at Comerica Park, the Tigers are trailing the Royals now 3-1. And we are headed to the bottom of the fourth inning. Will Rhymes leads it off. Hochevar back to work. He delivers a strike, 0-1. Royals have 3 runs, 7 hits. The Tigers have 1 run on the Peralta home run. Their only hit so far. Will shoots one into center. Make that 2 hits so far.
Well, Ryan's getting it done on both sides of the ball so far here today.
That AT&T trivia question again. Imagine thinking about prospects. The question was, name the 3 players on today's rosters who were selected in the first round of the 06 draft. Hochevar is one of them. Scherzer is another. And Jeremy Jeffress, who came over in that Zach Greinke deal. Those are the 3 that were first round picks in 2006. There's Mad Max. There's a strike called on Brendan Bosch. See if the ball club gets something going here against Hochevar in the 4th inning. Luke had retired 6 straight before the Peralta home run. Bosch is 0 for 1 today. He lines a shot, one hopper to short. This should be a double play. It is not. Bosch beats it out.
Bosch has really good speed, but Escobar, the shortstop, took a little time in getting that ball to Getz, and Getz's timing wasn't very good when he got to second base. Now Getz, when he gets the ball, his momentum's carrying him toward third base, and he doesn't get anything on the throw. Throwing off the left foot, pushing off the bag, and that's the difference in Bosch being safe and being out. Escobar underestimated the speed of Brendan Bosch.
So here is Cabrera. Escobar might also have been taking inventory of his body parts. That ball was hit so hard.
He took a long time to get the ball to his second base.
Cabrera is hitless in his last 6 ABs. He is 1 for 7 in the series. Bounced out his first time up. He does represent the tying run at the plate, though. And Miguel's still batting .321. He's hit 3 home runs this year.
Bosch stole 7 bases last year in the majors, but this is not a running situation for him, not with the big boys in the batter's box and in the on-deck circle.
Cabrera, then it would be Martinez. Here's the 1-1. Cabrera had come into this game with very good career numbers against Kansas City pitching. .341. Of course, it's probably over 300 or near 300 against most teams, but .341 is really good.
Since Cabrera has put on a Tigers uniform, he has been pretty much the best hitter in the American League.
2-2.
2.5 years. Won a home run title 1 year. RBI crown last year. And finished second to Josh Hamilton in the MVP voting. He's an impact player.
Bouncing ball to short. Escobar has another chance. There's 1 and there's 2. This time they turn the double play and the inning is over. 4 in the books here at Comerica. fifth inning here at Comerica Park on a spectacular day for baseball here. Rick Porcello has allowed 3 runs on 7 hits, and the Royals have Billy Butler leading it off. Butler, Ka'aihui, and then Francoeur. Royals have gotten the leadoff man on in 3 of the first 4 innings, and 2 of those guys have come around to score. Butler had a double back in the 3rd. In the air to center, Jackson cruising back, 1 gone.
Billy Butler pretty much a fly ball hitter, but take a look at some of these sinker balls that Porcello has thrown in this game very early. This is what I'm talking about when you talk about getting late life on your two-seamer. That ball darts down south of the knees, and if Porcello continues to work in this area, he is going to have a good year. There's no question about that. That last pitch was a little breaking ball to Escobar that was lined too short, but the others, real good two-seamers.
And now he deals with Ka'aihui, who is 0 for 2. And just 1 for 9 in the series. Three runs so far against Porcello in this one as he pitches into the 5th inning. Meanwhile, Ka'aihui trying to get it going here at the major league level. Last year had a big season in the PCL, was Omaha's player of the year, was an all-star. He takes low, 3-1.
He's got real power, and that's really the one thing you can't teach at this level. He's got size and he's got power.
And that is pulled into right field, base hit out of the reach of Cabrera.
Good swing there by Keeler.
It'll be 8 hits for Kansas City. They've been pounding the ball all over the yard today, yet they lead by just 2 runs.
Well, we put up a graphic before the game that indicated just how successful they really have been as a team the last couple of years in getting 10 hits or more. No team in the majors has more 10-hit games than the Kansas City Royals.
0-1 on Francoeur. Well, they're 2 hits shy of reaching that mark again here today.
I was stunned when I saw this initially.
Well, it goes back to your point, though. How many of those guys have come around to score?
Well, they were 20th in runs scored last year in the majors. So they do a nice job of getting on, but they don't, or at least they didn't, touch home plate all that often last year.
Oh, 0-2 on Francoeur, who is 0 for 2 in this game. And the Royals continuing that trend, 10 hits in 5 of their 8 games this year. And again, 2 hits shy of doing it here this afternoon with plenty of time remaining in this one.
Now that little highlight pack we just showed you on the late life on the fastball of Porcello. One of those pitches works very nicely right here. If you can get Francoeur to pound one into the ground, get that double play, get out of this inning.
Porcello stays away. Even the count now, 2-2 on Jeff Francoeur, who has been known for his bat at times in his career. He's had a couple of really good offensive seasons, but he's also a Gold Glove outfielder. He won a Gold Glove in 2007. He's piled up a lot of assists. Back to the bag awkwardly, Ka'aihui.
It's almost like he was caught off guard with Porcello and throwing over to first.
Back into the seats, out of play.
If you're Porcello, you want to make it happen right here on the 2-2 count. You don't want to throw a ball here, which would fill him up, and more than likely Kyle Huey will be taking off on the pitch, which pretty much takes the double play on the ground out of the equation. Make it happen right here.
Driven to the gap in left center field. Looks like trouble, and it is. It'll split the outfielders and go all the way to the wall. This will get another run in. Ka'aiahue comes around to score. Francoeur trying for 3, and he dives in with a triple. 9th hit of the day for the Royals, and they lead 4-1.
It's a good at bat by Francoeur. It's a 2-seam fastball that's down. He goes down and gets it, and he rifles it into the gap. And Rayburn picks it up. He gets the ball to the cutoff man. Peralta, but nice hustle by Francoeur getting to third base. He showed some pretty good speed running the bases. Look at him.
Now the Tigers will pull the infield in, down 4-1 with Francoeur at third and only 1 out. There is some action now in the Detroit bullpen. Enrique Gonzalez starting to warm up. Betemit the batter. Way inside. He made him skip his feet out of the way. 2-0. There's Enrique. Royals today got 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and now 1 here in the 5th. Trying to get Francoeur home from third base. Betemit way ahead, 3 balls, no strikes. You'd like to think that Porcello has the advantage of facing the bottom of the order, but Betemit has 2 hits. Trainer on deck has a hit and a walk. There's a 3-0, and there's a strike.
Kind of surprised that Betemit wasn't swinging there. 3-0. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. He knew he was going to get a fastball right down the middle, but he's still in a pretty good count.
Wave and a miss. 3-2.
It's a good changeup here by Porcello. Obviously a fastball count. Betemit sitting on the piece of cheese, but he doesn't get it. Swings right over the top of the changeup.
3-2. Boston, ball 4. And that's going to be it, it appears. Here comes Jim Leyland. So Porcello, who has thrown 88 pitches, as runners at the corners, a run in here in the 5th. And the skipper hasn't made a change. It doesn't appear he will. Well, as soon as the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live. We'll go to the clubhouse, hear from the manager, Jim Leyland, and the players. Plus, we'll show you all of the highlights from today. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios and here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit. 3 walks now for Porcello. 1st and 3rd for Matt Trainer. Trainer's been on base twice, single and a walk. Porcello finishing third in the Rookie of the Year voting a couple of years ago behind Andrew Bailey and Elvis Andrus, and last year took a little bit of a step back even though he won 10 games. Was sent down to the minor leagues midseason. When he came back, his ERA was straightened out a little bit. His ERA in the second half was a couple of points lower than it was in the first half. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, a mixed bag in his first start this year. There's the ERA splits from last year. He's ahead 0-2. Royals got 2 in the third. Tigers answered on the Peralta home run, but KC has added 2 more. And a ground ball to third. Inge fires to second and threw it away, and Rhymes has to leave the bag. That'll score a run, and you don't see that very often. It'll be the third Tigers error of the day. That looked like a double play ball all the way.
It was a double play ball. Inge, for the most part, has a very accurate throwing arm. This time he dropped down to a sidearm angle and flipped it, and the ball kind of tailed on him. And Rhymes did everything that he could do just to catch it.
So that's a tough break there for Porcello. He got what he wanted. Fielder's choice, E5 RBI, and it's now 5-1 KC. Big swing by Escobar. Oh for 2 for Alcides Escobar. In the air to center field. Jackson coming on. Had him played perfectly. Shallow in center. 2 gone. And runners will hold. Back up to the top of the lineup now. Chris Getz, who has been anything but an easy out in this series. Gets on base 2 more times today, plus he has an RBI. And a .370 season average right now. By the way, the 3 Tigers errors in this game, a season high for Detroit. Here's the 0-1. Back up the middle, but Peralta is right there. He'll win the race to the bag, and that is that for the Royals. But they get 2 more runs. They extend their lead. It's now 5-1. Kansas City. The Royals have added 2 more for Luke Hochevar. And it'll be Victor Martinez, Ryan Rayburn, Johnny Peralta in the bottom of the 5th. Tigers only had 5 hits in yesterday's game. They have but 2 in this one. And the Royals off to a nice start this year. Have done a pretty good job in the series. The Tigers won the first game on opening day. But the offense has had some tough sledding since. Here's Martinez. He flied out his first time up. Hochevar misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Hochevar surrendered the home run at Peralta back in the 3rd. The only blemish on his numbers today. There's a strike called. 1-1. Tigers, as we mentioned, come into play today at 3-5. Cleveland is leading the way in the American League Central Division. They are 6-2. The 1-1 pitch. That surprise you at all?
Absolutely. Manny Acta, 2nd year as the manager in Cleveland, has got him playing some pretty good baseball out to shoot. I believe they've won 6 straight.
They have. They started 0-2. Now they're 6-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They're in a transition phase as well as Cleveland now starts to introduce some young players. Chicago at 5-3 in 2nd place along with the Royals.
Matt Thornton has had a tough time closing games for the Chicago White Sox. Therefore, the youngster Chris Sale closed for them yesterday. And that's one thing Ozzie Guillen will not wait around a whole lot of time as far as that closer is concerned.
High fly ball to left. To the corner it goes. Gordon is there. 1 out. Yeah, he displays little patience with that.
No. There's nothing more demoralizing than your team getting itself in a position to win a game only to lose it very late in the game by the closer. Thornton, one of the best 8th inning guys in all of baseball the last few years, but struggling in that closer's role for the White Sox.
Here's Ryan Rayburn. Well, I guess when you think back to guys that have made that transition, Joe Nathan was the 8th inning guy in San Francisco before the trade brought him to Minnesota. And apparently it was no problem for him because he has turned into one of the best.
Well, the Tigers have an 8th inning guy right now currently on their roster that could be closing for the majority of the teams in the big leagues. Joaquin Benoit. He's legit.
2-0 on Rayburn. He had a rip.
He had a rip at 1 yesterday as well off of one of the better closers in the American League. The Mexicutioner, Joaquin Soria.
Rayburn's first of the year. And that was the only Tigers run yesterday. Here's the 2-1. Chopped to 3rd base, deep behind the bag, fair ball. That'll be throws high, but it's in time. 2 up, 2 down. And here's Johnny Peralta.
Bedemeek's played pretty good defensively in this series. A couple of series last year when the Tigers played against Kansas City, he didn't look all that comfortable down at 3rd base, but he's made some decent plays here the last 3 days.
And on top of that, he's been on base 3 times in this game. Here's Peralta. Johnny homered back in the 3rd. Johnny has been pretty much all or nothing against Hochevar. He's 3 for 16 career against him, but 2 of those 3 hits left the ballpark, including the home run in the 3rd, which is one of 2 Tigers hits today. Tapped foul. 1-2. Shavers 1-2 pitch. Johnny stays alive. Tigers did not take batting practice before the game today. They did hit in the cages, but that's something that they'll do most Sundays. Just hit in the cages, not on the field. That's lifted in the air to shallow center field, and Cabrera comes on to make the play. And the Tigers go 1-2-3 here in the 5th. On our way to the 6th. All right, Mickey, thank you. Yes, 5-1 here as we go to the 6th inning. Tigers have made a pitching change here. It's a wall-side windows pitching change. Enrique Gonzalez comes out of the Tigers' pen.
Well, his job is to try to slow down this Kansas City Royals offense, keep them right at 5 runs, and his ball club has 4 more innings to try to catch up as far as swinging the bats.
Melky Cabrera starts it off. So Porcello goes 5 innings. He gives up 5 runs, all of them earned despite all of the errors. Melky Cabrera 2 for 3.
Paul Konerko of the Chicago White Sox is picking up right where he left off last year. He has driven in a run just about every single game they have played. And they're playing without Adam Dunn right now.
When is he scheduled to come back? Do you know?
They said he wasn't going to be out that long with, what was it, appendectomy?
Yeah. How does that not take long?
I don't know. They're coming back a lot quicker these days. They haven't missed him, though.
No, that is true. They are a good lineup without him. They are a very good lineup with him. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Driven high in the air, deep into right field. Bosch is going back to the warning track. Right at that triangle out there, one gone. Cabrera put a charge into that one. It comes up empty. Final numbers on Rick Porcello. He walked 3 as well in this game. And right now the pitcher of record for Detroit. Here's Alex Gordon. RBI and a ground ball back in the 3rd for Gordon. Otherwise 0 for 3 in this game. Pulled on the ground at first. Routine play for Cabrera. Gonzalez covers. 3-1 on that put out. 2 away. Now Billy Butler. Gonzalez was kind of a quiet man during spring training. Nobody talked much about him. All the talk was about the young guys that were at camp. Jacob Turner, Andy Oliver. Wilk was having a good camp. The battle for the lefties. Schlereth, would he make the team?
Villarreal.
And all of a sudden, Gonzalez just goes about his business and really performs an important task out of the Tigers' pen.
It's the trust factor. He's a veteran pitcher, and he pitched well last year when he came up, and Jim didn't forget that.
That shot into right field, shallow. Running play by Brennan Bosch. Butler is out. 1-2-3 inning for Enrique Gonzalez. We go to the bottom of the 6th.
Job to do, and that's to get on base, no matter what, and a couple times last year, I think that I would try to do too much to try to get on base rather than just doing the simple things that it took to get on base, using speed, maybe bunting more and things like that.
The thoughts of Austin Jackson, who will bat third here in the 6th inning. The Tigers down 5-1. Jackson trying to bust out of a slump here to start the year.
He may be going through a little bit of that right now, where he's trying to do a little bit more than capable of doing, trying to get on base.
Here's Alex Avila. It'll be Avila, Inge, and then Jackson. 5 runs, 9 hits for KC. Tigers a run on 2 hits. Luke Hochevar has been in command in this one. He got the Tigers 1-2-3 in the 5th. Driven to the air, deep into right field, hit well. Francoeur turns, and that ball is gone. Touched by a fan, caught by the fan. They're going to call it a homer. And we're going to get an argument by Ned Yost. Avila, meanwhile, takes the tour. Francoeur immediately was signaling that the fan reached over to catch that ball.
Second base umpire Mike DeMuro is adamant about the fact that the ball cleared the wall.
Well, from that angle, it looked like it probably did, but it was close.
They might have to go look at that one.
There's a reaction from Francoeur.
Well, no one had a better look than Mike DeMuro. So if he's being questioned right now, they'll go look at it.
And they will. It's our first of the year, isn't it?
Yes.
Our first replay on a home run here. And so Tim Welke, the home plate umpire, along with his crew, will check it out. And, of course, there are a ton of rules on the replays for home runs. And here are some of them. The decision for instant replay is made by the umpiring crew chief.
No, Ned Yost, their manager, even though he went out to argue the call, you can't request a replay.
And after that review, the crew chief will return to the field and signal the final call. And once they make the final call, that's it. Can't argue it, can't protest it. There's another look. I think this is going to stand. Like it would have cleared the fence, I think. But you're right. The second base umpire, Mike DeViro, adamantly ruled that was a home run, and I think eventually that's just going to stand. Here they come. It's a home run. And that's that. You can't argue it. You can't protest it. So give Avila the homer. That's his third of the year. Makes it a 5-2 game.
Since Lloyd and Jim Leland have gotten in the ear of Avila about being a little bit more aggressive early in counts, he has really been generating a lot of backspin on the ball and hitting some long home runs to the pull field.
Brandon rolls one to the shortstop, Escobar. Little running scoop for the out, one away. Well, Avila showing that he has double-digit home run potential, that's for sure.
He's been much more aggressive, not trying to hit the ball to left field early in the counts. He is looking to do some damage, and he's been doing some damage lately. It started in Baltimore.
Jackson takes a bender in there for strike one. Two of the three Tigers hits today are homers, Peralta and now Avila. One and two on Austin.
That last approach by Austin, just an indication of he's kind of caught in between right now. Just not feeling as confident as you'd like to be as a hitter. I've been there.
Swing and a miss. He chased one out of the strike zone, and down he goes. Well, I mean, I don't know if there's any tonic. I mean, how do you get out of feeling in between?
Well, Jim might have to give him a day off. You can see the front foot's down, but the body is still gliding forward. Therefore, there's really no bat speed in. By the body gliding forward as well, the eye level is changing, and that fastball was up, but it looked good to Jackson.
Here's Will Rhymes.
Take one more look at that swing. The front foot does get down, but look at the body. The body continues to go forward as the foot comes down, and when your body's coming forward, you can't generate the bat speed that you'd like to generate. And to answer your question, I think a day off might be in order for Austin, just to get away from it for a day and just kind of sit down and relax and chill and kind of watch the action. Put Kelly out in center field, and he'll get it together.
1 and 2 on Rhymes. Yeah, I mean, you can't look at last year and say total fluke.
No.
The kid did so much last year.
No. He's a good player.
Here's the 1-2. Popped up. Heading back toward the seats, and out of play.
I mean, Jackson last year became just the 4th player in Major League history since 1901 to collect at least 100 runs, 180 hits, 30 doubles, 10 triples, and 25 stolen bases. So those are no fluke numbers.
And it's the way in which he did it, pretty much chalk line to chalk line. Chop to the second baseman gets. Rhymes is out, and that is that for Detroit. They get a run back on the Avila home run. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Back here at Comerica Park on a spectacular April day for baseball here in the Motor City. Enrique Gonzalez back to the hill now as we go to the 7th, 5-2 Kansas City. And Gonzalez had himself a 1-2-3 inning. Goes back to work here in the 7th. Porcello went the first 5. Here's the 1-0. Kila Ka'aihue is the first man to face him. Ball missing outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, be careful here. If you decide to throw him a fastball, you need to locate it in an area where he can't do a lot of damage. Ka'aihue's got big power.
The 2-1.
Good pitch. Oh, what a pitch. Took a little something off the fastball. 2-seam variety, bottom of the strike zone with some good movement.
Are you going to be sad that you don't have to say Ka'aihue tomorrow?
You know what? I kind of feel good about the way I've been pronouncing his name for the last 3 days. I worked on it all spring. I should have it down by now, anticipating that we'd see him real soon.
Did you get to the ballpark early every day?
All spring I worked on it.
Down he goes. Well, you're much improved. There's no doubt about it.
I know I shocked you on day one when I blurted it out, didn't I? You about fell out of your chair.
Well, Kila goes down. 1 away here in the 7th inning.
His name might be one of the trickier ones that we have to pronounce this season.
Yeah, I'd put it up there at number 1 right now. I can't think of one that's trickier. Jeff Francoeur. He tripled in a run back in the 5th. The 1-0 pitch.
Ned Yost told Francoeur he's going to put him right in the middle of the batting order and let him play every single day. And they're hoping they catch a lightning in a bottle. And they're hoping that Francoeur plays the way that he played when he was a rookie with the Atlanta Braves. Ned Yost was the third base head coach for Atlanta. And Bobby Cox, of course, was the manager.
Back up the middle, into center.
He's had a nice day.
His second hit.
And Dayton Moore, their general manager, was also working in the front office for the Atlanta Braves. So they believe that Francoeur still has a lot of baseball left in that body.
Well, twice he's knocked in 100 runs in a single season early on in his career with Atlanta.
And a real good look at that last delivery and swing, courtesy of Panasonic Foxmo.
Here's Wilson Betemit. So as we look up on the scoreboard, we see another 10-hit game for Kansas City.
Kevin Seitzer, their hitting coach. This is his second gig as a hitting coach in the majors. He was with the Arizona Diamondbacks for about a half a year, and they let him go. But he is back at home in Kansas City, where he was a good player as well, and a good hitter, good contact hitter. He has these Kansas City Royals batters hitting the baseball with lots of confidence these days.
Betemit's had a nice day. 2 singles and a walk and a run scored. Two and one.
When Enrique throws that little 2-seam fastball up there, he gives you a lot of body. I mean, a lot of body, and you kind of get fooled by the body, and the arm speed kind of lags, and He throws that pitch at about 88, but he also gets up to 94 with his four-seam fastball.
High fly ball, right field. Bosch going to the corner, to the track, to the wall, leaps, can't get it, it's off the top of the wall. Francoeur is headed to third base. They're going to wave him home. Bosch finally runs it down. And another run is in for Kansas City on a near home run for Betemit.
A near catch as well in right field by Brennan Bosch. Little two-seam cutter down and in, and it's in the happy zone of Betemit. He thought he had it as soon as he hit it. Brennan got over there and made a nice effort.
Ooh,
and a near miss, a near catch.
Scoring on the play is Francoeur, and it's 6-2 Royals. That's how close he came.
What a day by Betemit.
3 hits for Betemit. He's also stolen a base.
Been on base all 4 times.
Trainer is single and a walk. Each time the Tigers have gotten a run, the Royals have come right back in the next half inning. Tigers got one in the bottom of the 6th, and now the Royals again extend the lead to 6-2. (11-3) now. The Royals have out-hit the Tigers today. Here's the 0-2. Avila blocks it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Matt Trainer, who a week ago today picked up his first ever career walk-off. He hit a home run against the Angels. He had never done that in his long career. The 1-2. On a line to the shortstop Peralta, 2 gone. We'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Alcides Escobar. Escobar is 0 for 3. And after off to a slow start with the bat, 158. Well, we told you he can play some D, and he is a native of Venezuela. And earlier this year, when the Royals played the White Sox, he cornered Omar Vizquel, another Venezuelan who could be headed to the Hall of Fame when he's done. And Alcides took the opportunity to try and pick his brain, learn as much as he can. And Vizquel, as you would expect, was happy to oblige.
Why not pick his brain? He may go down as the best fielding shortstop of all time.
Vizquel, a wonder in this game. And trying to give something back to the young Escobar. Here's the 2-0. Bounced right back up the middle and into center field. Base hit. Jackson charging the ball. They try and score the run. Here's the throw. It's cut off. Another run in. 7-2 in favor of the Royals. Escobar gets his 4th RBI, scoring Betemit. He's going to bring Jim Leland out. And the skipper will take the baseball. So with Gonzalez out of the game, Tigers go to the bullpen, and we'll step aside. We're in the 7th inning, 7-2 KC.
more often than not, when Jim Leyland does summon him out of the bullpen, it will be to get a left-handed batter out.
And that left-handed batter today is Chris Getz, who has been a tough out in this series. Getz has been on base a couple of times here today. Two more runs in for KC. They lead by 5. There's a strike called. Getz was a junior in high school at Grosse Pointe South when they won the state title here in Michigan. And Chris went on to play at Wake Forest and then the University of Michigan. The 0-1. Lifted to center field. Shallow. Jackson coming on. And that'll do it. So Schlereth comes on to get the only man that he needed to. Stretch time. 7-2. Here is our Comerica game summary this afternoon. Royals on top of the Tigers by 5, 7-2. Peralta, Avila, each with solo home runs. Benamy, big day, 3 for 3. And the Royals had 12 hits in this game, another double-digit hit game. Meanwhile, Hochevar has been able to take advantage of the offense he's been given.
Well, he's pitched a nice game. He has been ambushed the first couple of starts of the season with lots of fastballs that he threw early, but today he mixed in lots of breaking balls from the word go, change-ups, kept the Tigers off balance with a mixture of off-speed pitches, and for the most part, he's done a very good job here today.
And his numbers look like this: 6 innings, 3 hits, 0 walks, and 3 strikeouts.
That base on balls column's huge. That's why the solo shots. No traffic on the base paths.
Keeping the damage to a minimum. Here's Bosch. He'll lead things off. Bosch, Cabrera, Martinez, 3, 4, 5 in Jim Leyland's lineup. Rolled foul right at Tom Brookins. He did a lot of that in his day. Here's another one. 0-2 on Bosch. 0 for 2 today. Maglio getting the day off. So Bosch and Rayburn both start this afternoon. And the 0-2. White Sox on top of Tampa now 5-0 in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss. Trainer will throw down, completing this strikeout. No, he won't. He threw it away. And Bosch is aboard. How about that?
It never fails. Every time you see either a catcher or a pitcher just kind of casually lob the ball down to the base, they don't execute it. That's not a play that you practice. Therefore, you will see that quite often. Pitchers do it and catchers do it when they just simply nonchalantly lob the baseball.
So Bosch strikes out, reaching on the air. Hochevar with his 4th strikeout. We'll see if the Tigers now can turn that misplay into a break here. Cabrera is 0 for 2. Knocked into a double play his last time up. And he drives this one high in the air, deep to left field, way back. That one's going to go. It's gone. A quick 2-spot for the Tigers. 3rd home run of the day for Detroit.
Cabrera was a pretty smart hitter, and he flipped the breaking ball up there, did Hochevar, and that one will scream and hit me, and that's exactly what Cabrera did. It's the same pitch Peralta hit out for a solo shot back in the 3rd inning. Same exact pitch.
7-4 ball game all of a sudden. Only the 4th hit given up, and that's flying to left field where Gordon is positioned, and that is the 1st out of the inning. Tigers have been out hit 12-4 very badly, but trail by just 3 now. They scored 1 in the 6th and 2 here in the 7th as they take advantage of the throwing error by Trainer. Can't hold Cabrera down too long. Ball 1 to Ryan Rayburn. Shaver missed with that one. 2-0. Aaron Crow heating up. 91 pitches by Hochevar. There's number 92.
Saw Crow yesterday. He looked good. He got a good arm. Royals have 4 rookies in that bullpen. 4 rookies. And for the most part, they've all performed very well this year. Good pitch. That is a really good pitch. And that count, 2-1. Change up. Located beautifully to the right-handed batter.
Now 3-2.
Might be his last pitch either way.
Swing and a miss. Rayburn down on strikes. 5 strikeouts for Hochevar.
3-2 slider.
Here's Johnny Peralta. Driven to left center, base hit. Maybe more. It'll split the gap and go to the wall. Peralta will go to second, and he continues to swing a hot bat.
Johnny and Lloyd McClendon pretty much spent the entire spring trying to retool his approach and his path to the ball. His numbers in spring weren't pretty, but once the bell rang, he has been getting busy.
Here comes Avila. He homered in his last at bat. See, first Tiger at bat with a man in scoring position today.
The way Avila's been swinging the bat, he's in scoring position right now himself.
Well, he homered back in his last at bat in the 6th inning. No balls, 2 strikes on Alex. 3 home runs now this year. That home run also made him 5 for 11 against Hochevar in his career. Swing and a miss. And so Hochevar bounces back from the 2-run shot by Cabrera. 6 strikeouts on the afternoon. We go to the 8th inning. Cabrera has made it a little bit closer. This copyright telecast is presented by the authority of the Detroit Tigers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers. Well, the Tigers back in it now. It's a 3-run game, 7-4 as we go to the 8th, and Melky Cabrera leads it off for the Royals. Daniel Schlereth came on to get the final out of the 7th. He's got Cabrera, Gordon, and Butler to deal with here in the 8th. Here's the 1-0 pitch. He shows bunt, takes a strike, 1-1 on Cabrera. Melky today single and a double. One and two. Schlereth missed some time with a leg injury in spring training early on. He came back, had a rocky outing, but then really pitched well over his next couple of relief appearances. And showed Jim Leyland enough that the skipper felt he could be a real help to this bullpen.
Jim has always said, I'll take the talent. And Schlereth has a lot of talent.
The 1-2. High fly ball to left. Rayburn going back. 1 out.
Hey fans, you can follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at bat 11 app on your phone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit tigers.com.
Great day here at the ballpark. Temperature now at 77. Quite spiked up in the middle of the day. Plenty of sunshine. Best day we've had for ball here in Detroit so far. Gordon drops down a bunt foul.
Gordon kicking himself because he knew all he had to do was get that ball down somewhere toward third base, and he could have walked to first base to get his first hit of the day. 0 for 5s are tough days.
His ground ball produced a run back in the third. 7 runs, 12 hits for KC. Tigers 4 runs, 5 hits. Pulled towards second base and right by it, diving Will Rhymes. There's his first hit. Now Billy Butler. Butler had a double in the third. That's 13 hits now for KC. And there's a ball that gets by Cabrera.
Boy, oh boy.
It's the second time that's happened today. Gordon all the way to third base, and he's in there easily. It happened in the first inning on a bad throw by Porcello, and now here in the 8th.
That was the 4th error of the day for the Tigers defense. All 4 of the errors coming on throws too.
Well, again, it seems like every time the Tigers score and get a little bit closer, the Royals are able to answer. They're trying to answer here in the 8th inning.
Put him on, don't they?
I wouldn't pitch to him. And they are going to put him on.
Yeah, they got to put him on.
So Butler will get the intentional walk. Kaihue is due next. There's ball 3 missing outside. 4 errors for the Tigers today. And ball 4. Jim Leyland now directing traffic as Kaihue steps in. Kilo singled and scored in the 5th inning for the Royals.
Make sure you get the breaking balls away from Kahui if you're going to throw it. Don't hang it. Ooh, got away with one there.
A little bit farther outside.
Most left-handed batters, when they go to the plate against Slayerith, they sit on the curveball because they know that's his bread and butter pitch. And more often than not, during the course of the sequence of at bat, you're going to get a breaking ball or two.
And Avila can't find it, so move the runner up to second base. Butler advances. Wild pitch.
Well, that takes the double play. On the ground, out of order. So Jim going to move the infield back in again.
Here's the 1-1. Infield in for the Tigers. Outfield shaded a little bit toward right field against Kaihue. And Alquila calls time, steps out. Royals haven't pinch hit at all in this series, have they?
I don't think so. I don't remember them doing so.
No, they haven't. Here's the 1-2. And he lofts this one in the air to right field. Bosch backing up. Gordon tagging at third, and he will come around to score. Butler will move up as well. It's a sacrifice fly and give Kaihue an RBI. 8-4.
Every pitch that Daniel threw to Aquila was a breaking ball. And the last one was up, and he hit it far enough to get an RBI.
His 5th RBI of the year. Royals back up by 4. 2 gone for Francoeur. Way high. Boy, Avila had to leave the crouch to save a run.
Yeah, Daniel overthrew that fastball. That's something that Daniel has to be aware of, what I was saying about left-handed batters when he's on the mound, because he has such a good breaking ball. Left-handed batters, they know they're going to get 1 or 2 from him, so it's going to be very important for him to make sure when he does throw the breaking ball, he gets it down and away from the left-handed batters.
Francoeur 2 for 4. He's had a big day. RBI, scored a couple of times. He's tripled. Here's the 2-0. Tim Welke up with the right hand. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Not working with his brother this year, is he?
No, didn't appear to be.
No Bill. They're usually on the same crew.
The 2-1. High towering fly ball. Should end the inning. Rayburn is under it. And that is that for KC, but they get one more. You're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. 8-4 is our score. The Tigers have trailed all afternoon long, and we have a new pitcher now. It's Robinson Tejeda.
Tejeda's got a pretty good arm, anywhere from 93 to 95 with his fastball. An occasional breaking ball, but for the most part, when he comes into the game, it's late in the game, and he comes at you with a lot of hard stuff.
Well, our next April in the D Tigers telecast is tomorrow. We start a 3-game series against the defending American League champion Texas Rangers. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Tigers Live, followed by the game at 1 o'clock. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire tomorrow afternoon here on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. There's your starting pitcher tomorrow, Justin Verlander. He'll take on the heavy-hitting Texas Rangers. So the Tigers go to work now in the 8th, down by 4. Brandon Inge leads it off. And Austin Jackson and Will Rhymes against Tejeda. Two 2-0 on Brandon. Inge 0 for 2. There's a strike on the inner half. 2-1 on Inge. Royals bullpen has been very good in this series against the Tigers. 3 balls and 1 strike. In fact, the Royals' pen overall this year has an ERA a shade over 3. Line to center field, a base hit. Inge is on with the leadoff single. That'll bring up Austin Jackson. Tigers have just their 6th hit. Bunted, third base side. Tejeda going to have to hurry. And he's safe at first base. Not much on that throw.
Austin needed that.
Sidearm lob by Tejeda.
Austin will take it. When you're struggling swinging the bat, drop down a bunt. Why not?
The Tigers have something brewing here with runners at first and second and nobody out. That'll bring up Will Rhymes. Strike 1 on Will. One and 2 on Rhymes. Two and 2. Tigers have the big poppers coming up. Will Rhymes 1 for 3 this afternoon. Had a single his middle time up. Tigers need a big hit right here to keep this inning going. Nobody out. Looking for a late rally. Foul ball. Just foul.
Ned Yost has Billy Butler playing right on that line, protecting against doubles. And he made a dive for it but couldn't get there. And he is right on that line.
Just missed. And the 2-2. We talk about how difficult Rhymes can be to strike out. He puts the ball in play, and that's exactly what the Tigers need here. They got to keep this inning going, down by 4. Let's update you on our McDonald's Player of the Game voting. Peralta 22% of the vote, then Cabrera, then Avila. Not coincidentally, they've all homered in this game. Ground ball to second. This should be 2. There's 1, and there's 2. It's a 4-6-3 double play, and a huge double play for Tejeda. 2 outs, runner at third.
Getz gave the ball to Escobar, the shortstop, in a very timely manner. And Escobar came across that bag with a lot of aggression and threw from an angle. He forced Peralta to get down on the ground. Look at this angle he threw from. Jackson, excuse me, to get down.
Here's Bosch. Tejeda wants a new baseball. They will oblige. Brennan today is 0 for 3. He did reach after striking out back in the 7th. Strike 3 was dropped by Trainer, and then he threw it away at first base, and that's when Cabrera followed with a home run. Two 2-0 on Bosch. Two balls, 2 strikes. High pop up, shallow right field. Getz will be called off, and Francoeur makes the catch, and the threat is over. 8 innings in the books. 8-4 KC. Seven hits, but they also have 4 very big errors in this game. And Robbie Weinhardt is the new Tigers pitcher.
He's already logged 1 1/3 innings since coming up a couple of days ago when the ball club was in Baltimore when Ryan Perry went on the 15-day disabled list. Good 2-seam fastball, a little slider, not much of a changeup.
Wilson Betemit is the first man to face him as we play here in the 9th inning. Betemit, Trainer, and Escobar due up. 3 for 3 for Betemit. Big day today. Pulls that one down the right field line, and that is a fair ball. His big day just got bigger. Bosch digs it up, and it's a leadoff double. Well, the Royals with their hitting shoes on today. That's 14 hits for Kansas City.
Yeah, it looked like he got a breaking ball that was hanging at the, almost looked like the pitch that he got from Enrique Gonzalez the last time he was up when he almost homered. Barely fair, but clearly fair.
The 14 hits ties a season high for the Royals. And they try and get another run in now. Here's Matt Trainer. Here's the 1-0. Betemit now has 4 career 4-hit games. Hadn't had one since 07, but he's off to a sparkling start this season. Well, at least today's game has been sparkling. Two and one on Trainer. Been on base a couple of times. Two and two. Lefty Brad Thomas warming up. Tigers, when we get to the bottom of the ninth, will have Cabrera, Martinez, and Rayburn. Royals all day long, it seems they've had great scoring chances. In fact, this is the 16th at bat with a man in scoring position in this game. Tigers have only had 3. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Cabrera's coming to third with it, and his throw is in time.
That's a good heads-up play by Cabrera. It's also a good at-bat by Matt Trainer, trying to move the runner along with nobody out and a runner on second. But Betemit, he did not think Cabrera would fire to third base to get the out, and it's a good play.
We'll bring up Escobar. Alcides Escobar singled in a run in his last at bat. So that changes the look of this inning quite a bit. 1 on, 1 out. Ground ball, fair ball inside the bag at third base. Another Royals hit. Trainer will go all the way to third. And now the Royals have 15 hits. Number 9 man getting into action today with a couple of hits. And that's going to bring Jim Leland out. You've got Chris Getz due up. He's had Brad Thomas warming up.
We've seen a few balls get down that third baseline in this series with Kansas City. And the reason for that is Inge has to play in a little closer because they've got speed, and some of these plays he just can't get to.
That's going to be it for Weinhardt. He will face 3 batters and depart. Brad Thomas will be coming in. Pitching change here at Comerica. We'll be back. Brad Thomas will come on now for Detroit.
4th time of the season that Brad Thomas has entered the ball game for the Tigers.
And Getz will be the batter. The infield drawn in now. 8-4 KC. Getz has an RBI today, has a single, has a walk, has a run scored. And he grounds the first pitch foul. Strike called, and now it's 0-2 on Getz.
And Royals will be desperately trying to score at least one more run in this inning. And they have a golden opportunity to do so. Most managers like to have that 5-run spread late in games, which gets them out of grand slam distance.
Fly ball, right field. On the move is Bosch. This will get a run in. Brendan goes all the way to the warning track. Both runners move up, sacrifice fly, and an RBI for Getz.
Hey fans, it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or to sell the tickets to the games that you just can't make. On StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Detroit Tigers. Go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today.
Well, the food still tastes good, despite the score. Kids Day here at the ballpark, our first of the year. Sundays are Kids Day. There's a swing and a miss by Cabrera. And what a perfect day to have the kids come out. Fortunately, the weather outstanding today. 77 degrees right now. Plenty of sunshine to be had.
And they're getting some of that sunshine.
Here's the 1-1. 15 hits today for the Royals. That's the most hits the Tigers have given up this year. They've had a couple of 12-hit games against the Yankees and their offense, but 15 is the most they've allowed. And the 2-1. Cabrera skies it. Shallow left center. Peralta back. Rayburn in. Rayburn catches. Hitting over. We'll go to the bottom of the 9. 9-4 Royals. To you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Wallside windows. For a free in-home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. Going to take a rally here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Tigers will face a new pitcher now in their last chance at bat. Kanekoa Teixeira is in.
Well, pretty much the strong point of the season so far for the Kansas City Royals has been their bullpen, although the last couple of starters, Chin and Hochaber, and their last 2 starters have done a pretty nice job.
For the Tigers, it'll be the middle of their lineup. Well, at least the 4-hitter leading it off. 4, 5, and 6. Cabrera, Martinez, Rayburn. Against Teixeira. And a first pitch strike on Miguel, who homered in his last at bat back in the 7th, his 4th of this new season. Hit hard into left field, a base hit. A rocket right by Betemit.
Betemit didn't even see that ball. He is lucky it wasn't hit at him.
Second hit of the game for Cabrera.
Just a missile.
There's Victor Martinez. 0 for 3 today for Victor. Tigers have their 8th hit. Tigers have Texas coming to town, and they are leading in Baltimore today 3-0. Meanwhile, the Royals will be heading to Minnesota, and they're trailing at Oakland 5-0. Bouncing ball right side under the glove of the first baseman. To third base goes Cabrera. Butler unable to get that one. And now the Tigers have something going here with runners at first and third.
Butler still holding Cabrera on, even though they got a 5-run lead in the 9th. And because of that, that ball gets past him. And Cabrera hustling all the way to third base.
So now the Tigers are 1 hit away from getting to double digits. Here's Rayburn, who's 0 for 3. Strike 1 from Teixeira. Blocked there by Trainer, keeping both runners where they are. Now the 1-1. Rayburn down to the count. 1-2. Well, with the mini uprising here by the Tigers, Joaquin Soria is starting to warm up in the KC pen. Trainer again throwing his body at the baseball. 2-2.
Getting dirty. He's played a good game. Those last 2 blocks, not the easiest to block either. 55-foot sliders.
Teixeira pitched in game 1 of the series, a perfect 1-2-3 inning. He has trouble here as Soria watches the action. Fouled back out of play. Peralta due next. Tigers scoring today, all coming on home runs. Peralta, Avila, and Cabrera. Outside, now it goes 3-2. The Yost can't be feeling too comfortable right now. The lead is 5, but Teixeira struggling to get outs. Crowd trying to get into it. 28,000 plus. In the air, center field. Melky Cabrera is under it. This will get a run in as Miguel Cabrera comes around to score. And that makes it 9-5. RBI for Rayburn, his 3rd of the year. Now Johnny Peralta. Another big day for Johnny, and that has raised his average to 357. Strike 1.
And Peralta was some of the first orders of business in the offseason by David Dombrowski. And he quickly re-signed he and Brandon Inge, the left side of the infield. and then went after the bigger free agent prizes, Martinez and Benoit.
Served to center field, base hit. Peralta has his 3rd hit of the game.
And Yost has seen enough.
So Yost was hoping for Teixeira to get through this inning and give Soria the day off, but it doesn't appear that's going to happen. And he has signaled to his bullpen. So as Teixeira trots off, they're going to bring the closer in, Joaquim Soria. And the Tigers now have an even 10 hits.
Well, it'll be difficult to do, but Soria served up a long ball in yesterday's game, and Avila, he's played long ball 3 times in the last 4 Tigers games, so he's been swinging a hot stick.
The home run came in the 6th inning. There was a little bit of a controversy. Did the fan reach over to make the catch? They went inside, took a look at it, and said, home run. So it'll be Avila with 1 out and 2 men on in a 9-5 game. As the Tigers try and put together a 9th inning rally here. They have scored once. And here are the numbers on Soria.
The numbers are not very Soria-like. The earned run average over 7. He's already blown a save this year. Gave up a home run yesterday to Ryan Rayburn. But he is one of your better closers in the American League.
Soria last year saved 43 games for Kansas City. That was a career high. 2 years ago he saved, actually 3 years ago now, he saved 42.
He must be saving just about every win that the Kansas City Royals get, because they've averaged about 97, 98 losses the last 10 years.
And here comes Avila. Soria, one of the most celebrated Rule 5 draft selections. That has really made it and made an impact in the big leagues. Avila now with 2 men on, 1 man out. Strike 1. Got Martinez at second base, and the runner at first base, Peralta. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and Avila down on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Alex has a couple of strikeouts to go with his long ball. Soria hails from Monclova, Mexico. Only 26 years old. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Butler has it. Fires to second. 1 there. No relay. Runners at first and third now with 2 outs. And the Tigers' last chance now is Brandon Inge. Had a base hit back in the 8th inning. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball to short. Escobar to his left, and that's it. The force out at second base, and the Royals come to town and take 2 out of 3 from the Tigers.
It's the 3rd consecutive series the Tigers have dropped to start the 2011 season.
And because of that, they will drop to 3-6 on the year. The Royals heading the other way at 6-3. 9-5 your final this afternoon. Back with more from Comerica Park.